have Avia K. Avia. Aviva. All right.
Thank you, Chairman Powell. Thank you, Senator Brass, for bringing this bill. You've both been working really hard on these issues, which maybe we should call disinterring cannabis at this point. We're kind of pulling it from the grave and reviving it. My name is Aviva, for everyone who doesn't know me. I founded the Georgia Hemp Economic Revival Organization over 10 years ago to usher in this hemp revival successfully and hopefully in a healing way. I see myself as a mediator between legislators and consumers and businesses and addiction recovery people, all that stuff. I have a lot of points to make today, but I'll keep it as brief as possible.
If I may ask, could you speed this up?
Yes,
we're losing
and I wanted to say...
We have another meeting, and
yeah,
I'm afraid we're going to lose our quorum.
I'm grateful that you gave them like 20 minutes to speak, and I'm hoping to get at least 5.
Quite frankly, I didn't give 20 minutes, but nobody listens when the chairman says brevity is a high priority.
Yes, Britt is very knowledgeable, but I think I am as well. And I have 10 years is a long time to be managing what everyone is doing in this playground. And I just want to address them first because they made some points, and then I want to go on to what I wanted to say really quickly. I have a BA in child studies from Tufts University, and I studied a lot of alternative medicine. I've apprenticed herbalists, homeopaths, whatnot. So a lot of people heal through diet, and there's something called the GAPS diet that addresses schizophrenia in an amazing way. And what they found is that a lot of it is the source of the gut. So what they do is they find out that different things, whether it's THC or pesticides, can destroy the gut, which in turn actually creates brain issues, mental issues. And so there have been studies, coincidentally, on California weed, medical weed, that is poisoned with pesticides. And not only because it's possibly sprayed with pesticides, but also because cannabis is so incredible that it pulls pesticides from years ago from out of the ground. They found DDT in the cannabis. That was banned years ago. So because we have this medical weed sucking toxins out of the ground and then concentrating it into an oil, you're basically smoking or ingesting pure pesticides, very concentrated pesticides. So, of course, those can be linked to schizophrenia as well. Also, THC breaks down. It's alive. It doesn't just stay 50% potency. It actually breaks down into something called CBN. It's very complicated. Some other people can speak to it better than me. CBN can be considered a little bit more of a psychotic than THC. So if you've got old medicine laying around and a child finds it, and it's like 3 years old, it might be degraded into a substance that's a lot more toxic. And then just to our other friend's points, not only would Yolanda have to have a medical card to travel, and I support this bill, by the way, Senator Brass, not only would she have to have it to travel, but other people traveling here need medicine. And this is my biggest point today, is that all other medical programs have flower, and they also have home grow, which is so much safer. If these kids had access to flower, they wouldn't mess with the crazy edibles that taste weird. You know, they would be a slower ingestion, a quicker ingestion. Edibles are way more dangerous for traffic. They hit you maybe in 3 hours, so you don't know you're going to be disabled when you're driving. So I do think it's very imbalanced that we don't have flower in the program. And even vaping is more concentrated pesticide-wise than flower. So it is mixed up. If we just bring back the flower, you know this, we'll bring back the safety.
If I might repeat, that brevity is of a value because we're losing members and we're not talking about legalization of flower.
Well, okay, I will end my point here, since you obviously don't want a song, and that's okay.
Then somewhere out there, maybe that guy that, maybe the folks that played the ukulele in the committee for us, they might even put in an application to people from wherever they're from. because this opens the process back up.
My point is that, yes, we're not talking about legalizing it, but what's the big deal? Recreational is not a big deal. It's stress release. Everyone needs stress relief. I mean, people break up with people. People have affairs because they're not relieving themselves from stress. So what's worse, holding on to this stress or allowing people to have stress relief so they can live their lives and be happy? What's the big deal? Like, why is that such a stigma to talk about? Some people take a drink, some people take a hit of weed. It's really not a big deal, and we need to grow past this issue. We really do. I'm personally not a smoker, but I think it's an ethical issue, and it's offensive to some cultures to stigmatize it. And I will end saying this. I know people who have been arrested for growing the plant medicine and giving it to an informant, saying, my mom is dying, I need the flower, I can't get it anywhere. Senator Brass knows, you made medical cannabis legal without growing the flower legal, without anything being legal for years. So what happened? My friends grew the flower for people. They were helping lots of people, and now they're in jail. Over a year, a husband and wife. They have 2 kids, chickens, dogs. Their life is a mess right now. And I hope we can do something about it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And if we've got a few more speakers, but, please remember that we're not talking about legalizing, wholesale legalization of marijuana. All right, Michael Mumber.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Representatives. I'll be 2 minutes or less. And I'm with Georgians for Responsible Marijuana Policy. I understand the faith we're putting in doctors. I've got a great doctor I respect a lot. She takes care of me. But there are a lot of doctors who are not going to be so integral or have integrity. For example, when I look at Florida, there's a company called Canna MD. They claim that they are Florida's leading network of medical marijuana doctors. And what they've gotten to the point of is saying Canna MD, and this is their website, by the way, is offering a $30 discount on physician appointments. Just mention the word pot of gold between March 14th and 21st to save money. So they're really profit motivated. They say, they list 72 conditions where you can get a medical marijuana card in Florida. And granted, they're not all listed in their Florida law. In fact, they say on their website, although the following conditions are not written into Florida's Amendment 2, the initiative indicates that other diagnosable debilitating conditions could be prescribed.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, if you allow, I think what Mr. Mumford is also referring to was in the first version of the bill that there was a clause that added where the doctor could decide, and it did use that language of the potential benefits of such use to the patient outweigh the potential health risk.